Hello grade 9. In this video, I'll be showing you a quick example of how you can complete today's challenge. As you can see, today's challenge is that you create a simple HTML page, just like the one you can see on your screen, but of course I would expect you to make some modifications, and that could have to do with like the styling. Maybe you want to use different fonts, maybe you want to use different colors, or just make it your own. But what you should keep in mind though is I would not be grading the aesthetics of the web page. Your score will be determined by the code, by the comments that you leave in your code. Why? Because the comment is what shows that you understand what you've done. Anyway, I'm trying to keep this video short, so let's get straight into it. Like I mentioned, I will be completing the previous challenge that was started in class and we didn't get done. All right, and I hope that you could apply the logic to create your own simple HTML form like the one for today's task. All right, so you want to open text edits on your computer. Okay, this is the jargons from before. You can see that I deleted that. And after opening text edit, I want to believe that you have the settings done already, but just a quick recap. If you don't have that done, you want to go to text edit, then go to preferences, and you want to make sure that you've checked to display HTML files as HTML code instead of formatted text. And when you click on new document, you want to make sure that you check that you select plain text. All right, this will let your code be able to compile successfully. So first thing that I would do, just like I love to do, this is not like a standard requirement, but you might want to just do it for fun. I will leave a comment in my code and I will say HTML page or whatnot, right? It's just a comment. This is not going to run as a part of the code. So but yeah, that's how you leave a comment in HTML. In case you're wondering, you leave a comment by putting an exclamation mark right inside of the opening tag, right? So now, of course, I'll go ahead and put out the opening tag of the HTML, and you can see that I'm leaving a tiny bit of space between, and I'm going to put the closing tag. Now, the difference between the opening and the closing tag is the front slash, right? So keep that in mind. This itself, nothing is done yet. So why don't I give this page a title? In this case, I'm working on a registration page. So I would give it a title, and I will call it registration, and I will put the closing tag of the title right there. Now, if I save this project, you can see I'm going to save it. It's advisable that you save it on your desktop so you don't have to look for the file around. Just make sure that you put .html extension so that it's saved as an HTML file. All right, so if I go to my desktop, I should have these right there. Now, if I open these, you'll see that nothing is displayed on the web page itself because we haven't added anything to the body. But right here on the tab, you can see registration. That is the title, which is what we've just done. Now, there's a little bit of styling going on with the background color. So I'm going to go ahead and just have my body tag, and I will put a closing of the body tag. Now, keep in mind the body tag inside, that is between the opening and the closing of the body tag, is whatever content that we want on the web page will go to. So we'll be working with the paragraph tags or whatnot. But for this project, we're obviously not working with paragraphs, we're working with forms. But before that, let's do a quick styling to change the background color. So let's say style opening tag, and let me put the closing tag of the style right there. You notice that the style opening and closing tag is still within the opening tag and closing tag of the body. Now, inside of the tag, I will put body, and of course body must be in lowercase, not HTML is case sensitive, so please keep that in mind. And I will open my curly bracket, and I will specify that I want to change the background color. Now, make sure that your color doesn't have a U. Don't spell it the British way, otherwise your code will not compile. And I will specify that for these, I actually want, let me see, I want green, right? So let me say I want green and I would end the argument. Now, if I save this, Command S to save, and I open that document, you'll see that I've successfully changed the background color. Just to have fun, you could go on Google and just type in color name reference in HTML. All right. And of course, I always recommend W3 School, best resource for sure. So instead of blue, let us try this one. Let's try aqua instead. So let me replace green with aqua, and let's see what happens. And if I open that, okay, that's what I get. Okay, I'm going to keep that. Let's go ahead. All right, anyway, just feel free to use whatever color you want to do. So now I'm going to leave the style. I'll get out of the closing of the style tag, since I'm not doing any other styling other than changing the background color. In future projects we'll be changing, we'll be going more into styling and maybe doing a little bit advanced stuff in styling. All right, because that really changes your entire project. So now we've talked about labels, right? Labels just present text like we have in the first name. So I will first of all create a form tag. Oopsies, okay, no oopsies, and put the closing. All right, you will notice that the form tag is still within the body, but I've made sure that I did not include it in the style, right? Because the form is an entity on its own and it's not styling, right? The form will contain labels, buttons, and whatnot, the layout of this page, pretty much. So I'll go ahead and inside of the form, I'll create a quick label, and that label again, put a closing tag, and the first label I believe is first name or something like that. All right, and I'll create another label, middle name and last name. Okay, so I'm just going to do that, copy and paste, and I'll change these to middle, and I'll change these to last. All right, now if I save these and I refresh this page, now what I have is I have first name, middle name, last name. Why? Why do I all have them on the same line? Because I have not instructed it to break. Okay, the BR tag pretty much means break text. So that means whatever comes after this tag will be on a different line. In this case, this label will be on another line from this, and this last label, last name, will be on a separate line from the middle name. Okay, so if I Command S and I go back and I refresh, then I have something like this. Okay, cool. So one more thing that we could do is we could actually do a little bit of styling in the label as well, right? We could change the font size of the label just for fun, or you could maybe change the color of the font just for fun. But yeah, that's something that you could challenge yourself with if it's something that interests you. To keep this video short, I won't be going into that. Now, in front of each label, let's look at the example we're following. Okay, there is a text box in front of each label. So what we want to do, this is break. Actually, this break, I'll take out this break because there needs to be a text box in front. So I will start this on the new line. So to get a text box, we need the input tag, and we will specify the type. So we'll say input type equals, of course, we did this in class. So you could try checkbox. If you try checkbox and you refresh, then you get a checkbox, right? But a checkbox is not what we need. Other types, you could try button. If you try button, all right, yeah, there are many types that you could actually use. I've left a link into this task, so I recommend that you actually click on the recommended reading and see more input types. But for this very input type, what we're using is the text, because what we want is an area that could contain the text. All right, so if I go back to that page and I refresh, I would have that. Now, another thing I could do is I could change this size. This size seems to be a little bit big for this label. So is it I increase the size of the text in the label, or I increase the size of the text box itself? Okay, why don't I just end this argument and then specify size and say equals and put, let me say 30, and then let's see. Okay, 30 is actually made it bigger, so let's try 10. Okay, that seems more like it. So I'll leave it like that. And right in front of that, I will put a breaker so that the label middle name will be on the next line. All right, and I'll repeat the same. So what I want you to do is also be smart with your coding. So you feel free to copy and repaste your code where appropriate. I'll take out this BR. I'll put it there because pretty much the same thing I did for the first name is what I want for the middle name. After the label, I want this input type the same size, all right? So it's pointless having to type all of that again. And if I refresh, then I have it here. Of course, this could use a tiny bit of formatting, but again, not for today's video. I'm trying to keep it short, so not for today's video. Now, I've shown you how to use labels and how to use text boxes. And okay, let's look at courses because this is a drop down menu. All right, so for the and we've talked about checkboxes as well. So for the drop down menu, you will be using a tag. It's called, of course, it will still be in the select inside of the form. Let me minimize this a little bit so that you see everything going on. Okay. All right, good. So you will see that all the labels and the input type that were created, they are between the opening of the form, which is highlighted, and the closing of the form, which is highlighted at the moment. All right. So now let's add this label course. Of course, let's put more breaker, br more breaker. All right, and let's see, just to get more space, okay, after the last text box. All right, so now we could have another label, and we could call this I think it's course. All right, and then we have course all the way down here because we've put 3 breakers, right? So we have course all the way down here, and in front of course we want. So good. The thing about the course is that it's a drop-down menu that contains, let's say, 4 courses: math, English, physics, chemistry, or whatnot, right? And you could tell that it's a drop-down because you can see the arrow pointing down. So that means when you click on it, you will be able to select from a list. You will be able to select from a list, and that's the tag you need. So let's put select. Make sure the spelling is right, and of course, then put another closing for select. All right, now we have an opening tag for select, we have a closing tag for select, and inside of select, we are going to create options. So option closing tag, and option 1, let's call it math, and I'm just going to copy that, put it there. Actually, option 1, computer science, or ICT, or whichever one you choose to call it. Hopefully your favorite subject. Second one is math. Let's say the third one is science, and let's say option 4, let's say P or whatnot. Okay, now if I refresh, then I have that drop down list. Okay, of course, to save time, I will not be going into the rest, but okay, what you might actually need help with is also this text box. If you see the size of this text box, it's big, right? But actually you don't, because we've done that once. And yeah, so good luck, guys. If you have any question completing the challenge after watching this video and practicing, please feel free to reach out. All right, good luck, and yeah.